Hey, Coach Rob here. I decided to do a quick video just to show you guys how to put your hand wraps on. There's a lot of different variations of how to put a hand wrap on. I'm going to show you the way that I put the hand wraps on. You can do it any way you want, but you just got to get the basic principles of how to do it. So you're not hurting your hands, hitting the bags, hurting your wrists. Most importantly is really you want to make sure you're protecting your wrist, the small bones in your hands. And if you hurt your hands, you're going to have a short-lived career with your boxing training, because you got to protect the hands, since those are your two important tools that you're going to be using, and your wrists as well. So the first thing you do, if you got a pair of hand wraps, don't just go buy some cheap pair of hand wraps. Get a nice pair of hand wraps. These are Mexican style hand wraps. The reason I like these is because they have a little stretch to them. I feel like they protect your hands a little bit better. They fit a little bit nicer. These are in a 180-inch set of hand wraps. You can get smaller ones if you have smaller hands. Maybe like 165-inch would be a good idea. They make like a lady size wrap and a kid size wrap. But if you want to really get your hands wrapped good, these Mexican style ones are probably the way to go. Again, it's totally up to you. The other ones are a little bit cheaper. You probably can get them for $5, $6. But you're going to take these wraps and first of all just unravel them. Don't worry about keeping them in a ball. It's just easier to unravel them all like this. You want to start with the thumb loop around your thumb with this side down against your skin. You want to go this way over your hand, because if you go this way, when you make a fist, it's going to loosen on you, and then it's just going to start falling off your thumb. So you go this way around the back of your hand. You're going to wrap the wrist a few times. So 3 times around the wrist is pretty good. When you come up, you want to get those knuckles. So you're going to get the knuckles here. Now here's an important thing when you're doing your wraps. Make sure that your fingers are spread when you go around your knuckles. If not, if you wrap them too tight like this, and when you make a fist, your hand's going to expand and it's going to feel too tight, like it's cutting off the circulation. And then you're going to want to take those hand wraps off right away, right? So you don't want to spend 20 minutes of your time, your workout time, trying to fool around with your hand wraps, putting them on, taking them back off again. So you just try to do it right from the beginning, but you'll get better and better at these as you go along. So fingers spread. Let's say I'm going to go 3 times around the knuckles, okay? That's plenty for getting started. So there we go. Now what I like to do is get my thumb wrapped. So I'm going to come around my hand, so underneath, and I'm going to just wrap around the thumb, and then come back the way I came from. Bring it back around the wrist again, so coming this way, going around the thumb from the opposite direction, and try to keep your wraps pretty flat as you're putting them on. Don't get them all twisted up as you're doing it, because it won't give you as much support, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Now once I've got that thumb kind of locked in there, I can come from my thumb. So this is important here, because you want to make sure that you're coming from your thumb so that it holds the wrap in place. And I'm going to just go in between my fingers. If you have a lot of wrap, you can actually come in between your fingers and go right back around your knuckle again, and do that with each finger. But my hands are too big. I'm going to end up running out of wrap if I do that. So I'm going to go right back around the thumb again, and I'm going to come right up through my finger again. Keeping the tension on the wraps, keeping them snug but not too tight. And I'm going to get around that last finger. And now once I've done that, I'm going to take this wrap and bring it right back around my knuckles. And that's going to lock all that right together there. I'm going to do it again. And then now I can kind of make an X shape with my wrap if I want, so that it holds everything together. Now I'm starting to get pretty low on my wrap, as you can see already. So I'm just going to finish around the wrist a couple more times and put my Velcro on. Now, when you make a fist, everything locks together. You can see everything's pretty nice and flat. I got through the fingers, right? A little bit of looseness here, but it's not too bad. Maybe I could have tightened that one loop up just a little bit, but it's going to be nice and strong when you're hitting the bags. If you get to the point, you get to here at the end, and your Velcro is backwards, just twist your hand wrap, and you can get it to go the other direction. Don't take your whole hand wrap off because your Velcro is backwards because you twisted it somewhere. All right, then you can just put your Velcro on because you twisted it, you made it, you fixed it, and you're good to go. If you really want to make sure that your hand wraps are strong, you could reinforce your wrist with some athletic tape. You can get 1 or 2 inch athletic tape, bring it around your wrist. It's going to lock that in really tight. And then there's no way that wrist is going to fold. The way that people hurt their hands is from punching improperly, but not always. If you throw a punch nice and straight with your wrist straight, there's a good chance you're never going to hurt your wrist. But if you throw a punch with your hand tilted, so you come this way, then that wrist is going to fold, and there's a big chance that you're going to hurt that wrist. Or if you throw a punch this way. Sometimes it's hard to see when people are wearing gloves if they're punching the proper way or not. So I like to have people sometimes hit the bags without gloves just for a little while so I can see if they're hitting with the big knuckles, big round knuckles here at the top, right? You want to be hitting with these first 2 knuckles, or with the glove on, the center knuckle. You can aim with that, and that's fine, just like that. But not this, and not that. And of course not swinging across and hitting with the thumbs either. The other way that you can hurt your wrist, even if you were trying to punch properly, is when the bag swings in and you lost your focus. So if you lose your focus and you fire that punch out and the bag swings in and it's in a different position than you thought it was going to be in, you catch it kind of with your hand too loose, your wrist too loose, and you fold that wrist because the bag swung in and you weren't quite ready for that. So you got to really always pay attention to when you're throwing a punch. You should never be throwing a punch at a bag and not have 100% focus on where you're hitting the bag, why you're hitting the bag in specific locations, and you should always have perfect form. When you lose your focus on a heavy bag, it's the first step towards losing your focus in a boxing ring, because you're teaching yourself how to be lazy. Your eyes become lazy, you're not looking at spots that you should be hitting, you're not treating the bag as if it's a real person in front of you. And then that's where injuries come from. Most injuries occur by somebody first coming in, signing up for a boxing class, thinking they know how to do boxing, and hitting a heavy bag way too hard before they actually learn the proper form. The other way people get hurt is not putting their hand wraps on. They take a boxing class or not. They think they know how to throw a punch. Maybe they watched a YouTube video. They start hitting a bag. They didn't want to take the time to put the hand wraps on, or they didn't know how to. And they hit that bag one time the wrong way, and now they have a hurt wrist for weeks or even months. And then their boxing career is probably going to be over for quite a while. Maybe they don't ever get started with it again, right? So it's important to get your hand wraps, get a good pair, put them on the right way, put them on every time, because when you get lazy and you say, I'm not going to put them on, that's the time you're going to hurt your wrist. And you could have taken 2 or 3 minutes to put your wraps on and saved yourself a lot of headaches. So put them on. Every time you get in the ring, if you're sparring, you should put them on. Anytime you're in here working on the bags, you should put them on. It's just a good practice. So that's how to put your hand wrap on. I hope that helps you a little bit. I hope that you guys will take the time to learn how to put them on the right way. If you have any questions, watch this video again. Ask me, we'll help you. Put them on 100 times, you're going to get pretty good at it, right? So make sure you're making your classes. Give yourself that little kick to get into class. You're going to learn a lot. You'll have your hand wraps on, so you'll be hitting that bag nice and hard and the right way. And we're going to teach you how to hit it the right way when you're in here, making sure that you're not getting bad habits and you're not going to come into an open gym and hurt yourself. All right, guys? So it's been fun talking to you. Hope to see you in class soon. You guys rock, and we'll see you soon.